Good morning to all of you. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to all of you. Good morning, madam.
Good morning, sir.
Dear students, today you have Python programming is Professor Kulkarni ma'am. She has total 11 years teaching experience. Presently, she is working at the college.
निमिषा मॅडम माझं पेन आहे का?
Her achievement and workshops attended are nearly about 10, and her interest in languages, Python basic, C basic, web technology, excellence, interpersonal skills, and she serves on various academic or administrative committees and deal with institutional policies. Okay, welcome ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
On the behalf of the Sveris College of Engineering, Pandharpur, and I am over the charge towards you.
Thank you, sir, for giving an opportunity for taking a class on Python. Sir, shall I start the session, sir, or still it's late?
Ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Kanchan ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Make to ma'am co-host or host so that she can share her PPTs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will do it. Ma'am, you have to share your screen.
Yeah. Ma'am, screen is visible to you, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Your screen is visible.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for giving an opportunity for sharing my views on the testing and debugging topic. Okay. Already all of you are aware that Python is a trending now in the market. Everyone, maximum companies are giving an opportunities on recent technologies, that is on AI and machine learning, and also on the Python. There are many maximum openings are there in the company. All of you are aware. Okay, maximum opportunities are there on the Python only. If you learn at the earliest stage means what it is helpful for framing the good programming. Okay, you are able to develop the complex programs easily when you are learning at the earliest stage only. Okay, Python is already you are aware is an open source language. Already all the users are able to use that one easily. You are able to develop the applications. In the web applications, you are able to use the Python. For the connection to the database, you are using the Python, and you are using for solving the complex mathematical issues also you are solving by using the Python. Python is the framework we are using in the different applications we are using that. Okay, already you have studied the basics in the previous module. Okay, everything you are cleared about the data types, what are how you are writing the code, everything you are cleared, I think. Okay, today I am explaining the chapter that is the testing and debugging. Okay, even you know how to write the pseudocode in the different programming languages. Okay, in all the different programming languages. Okay, you are writing the code. Okay, by using the library function, data types, all the things we are using while for writing the code there. After writing the code, the next stage you are moving that is with the testing and debugging. Okay, at the initial stage only we are not moving with the testing and debugging. All of you know. In all the different programming languages, in all the platforms, the testing and debugging we are using at the end stage only. Okay. Okay, what is testing? Anyone tell me the answer? Testing means what? Testing, where we are using it, which end we are using it. Initial we are using, and we are using. Let me. Yes, anyone tell me testing? What is testing? Is it voice is clear, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is testing? Anyone tell me? Okay, testing we are using after writing the pseudocode. Okay, after writing the programming code only, we are moving with the testing. Testing means what? Testing is the method that is used to check the how many bugs are there, if bugs are there or not, what type of the bugs are there, errors are there, at which level where the errors are there. Okay, that is matching with the expected requirement when that is matching with the expected requirement or not. Okay, what type of the errors are there? We are checking them. After checking the errors only, okay, we are moving with the debug stage. Okay, debug. Okay, D is different word and bug is different word. Combined it together, we are using it as the debug. Okay, bug means what? Error. Okay, that bugs we are detecting in the testing stage. After detecting the bug, we have to okay testing and debug that. Okay, next slide is what you are studying the content. What are the contents are there in the testing and debugging? Okay, in these contents you are studying the first topic is what testing output. Some scenario we are considering, you are testing, you will get the expected output, it is matching or not. And next is unit tests in Python. Okay, unit test is the initial stage of the testing using for checking all the individual components or the models you are checking there. And next is the handling multiple exceptions. All of you know exceptions when it will arise. Okay, when it will arise, anyone tell me exceptions when you are running your programs at that time in between the exceptions it will arise, exception it will arise, and then handling is also important, how you are handling it and how you are removing the exceptions. And next is creating custom exceptions. You are creating, the customer is creating the exceptions and how you are handling that one with the example is there. And next is debugging the programs. Errors are there. With the help of the testing process, we will find out the errors and then you have to resolve it, the errors. And next is unit testing. And next is measure the execution time of small code. Okay, these are the contents that is covered in the testing and debugging chapter. Okay, let's move with the first, that is what is the testing. The testing and debugging. What is testing? One sample code we are considering. Okay, that sample code that we are calling it as the pseudocode. Pseudocode, it may be with respect to the program. Python is there, means Python libraries we are using. C is there, means C libraries we are using. With that, we are developing the code. That codes are developed by the testers. Okay, who is developing the code, programmer or the developer. Okay, he will check that. The programmer, if there is some errors are there, that errors are viewed by the developer who developed the program and whether that errors are fixable or not. We are checking by the help of the testers only with the knowledge on the need, on the design, how we are designed, all the things that is by the help of the developer only able to solve. Developer, programmer, tester who designed the code, he is able to check the errors and fix the errors. And the testing is divided into two types. How we are doing the testing? Testing by viewing. Initially, we are viewing the program. By viewing the program, we are not able to conclude that at which line the error is there. We have to conclude it. Where the error is there, which code is wrong, where we have to do the recorrecting, and in which we have to recorrect it, how we are recorrecting. By using the verification and the validation. We have to verify what type of the code your pseudocode is there. Okay, are we building the product right? Okay, what type of the code is there? You have to recheck check the code. The code is suitable with that programming language or not? The Python you are using means Python libraries, all the things we are using there or not? We have to check it. And next we have to validate it. We have to validate it. It is the right code. That code we are using in that application there. And then we have to move with the testing there. Okay, testing can be classified into two types. You may test it automatically and you may test it manually. Okay, manually tools and automatically tools, both the tools are available for testing. The maximum times we are preferring for the automated tools only we are using for testing the products there. Nowadays we are using the softwares that are automated one, that is not a manual one. Okay, manual they are using means what manually means what physically you have to do that one. Some inputs we have to give it, customer has to give the input and we have to do that. Automatically we are giving in the software only, we are giving the input and we are processing that, that is automatically. Okay, maximum we are using the automatic only. The automatic and the manual both are there. Okay, in that the maximum times we are using the automation only there. And next is the testing output. Okay, how you are testing the output? By using the different techniques are available there. Okay, already you know the techniques here in the picture, it is clearly it is there. Okay, all of you are able to view the picture. It's visible. Yes, picture is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, in these different techniques, we are using the two methods. That is, the one is black box and white box testing. Okay, anyone tell me what is the black box? You are able to, black box and white box. White box is transparent. In the black box, we are not able to view what it is processing inside there. Only we are giving the input for the black box testing and then it is processing all the activities inside. We don't know how it is processing there and we will get the output there. Okay, the user is identifying on what base that output is
Ma'am,
matching. Yes,
ma'am, please increase your voice.
yeah, yeah. So black box testing. Now it's clear, sir. Able to hear my voice?
Yes, ma'am. Clear, but
Yeah, yeah. Little bit louder. Yeah. Okay, in this there are two different techniques of software techniques we are using there. It is the black box and white box testing. Black box testing, it is the testing, the user is giving the input and you are getting the output there. What it is processing in the black box testing, you are not able to give that one. Okay, the user input, what the user is giving, depend on that only we have to expect that this type of the output we may get it at the end. We don't know what type of the techniques method, what application it is using in the black box testing, you are not able to give that one clearly there. Okay, that is the black box testing. Depend upon the output only we are able to assume that you are given this input, for this input you got this output. Okay, it is not a transparent, you are not able to view. Another one is what? White box testing. What you are given the input, you are able to view it and how it is running in the application, you are able to view it and will get the output for that. Okay, it will match the expected output for the input what we are giving there. Okay, these are the two different techniques we are using for the testing them. Black and the white box testing. Already you are studied in the different subjects. Okay, in detail your depth you are studied, but only here I shown the diagram how it is taking the input and how it is generating the output. Okay. Okay, next is the different levels of software testing. Okay, there are four different types. There are four different levels of software testing. That is, the first one is what unit testing, and second is what integration testing, system testing, acceptance testing. Okay, these are the four different levels of software testing are there. Okay, in this four different level of the software testing, the preferences we are given from the unit to the acceptance testing. Unit testing means what? It is a level of the software testing procedures where the individual units, components of a software system are tested. Individual component and the modules of the software system are tested. That is used for the validating at the validating depend upon the software performed on a design. Okay, that is the unit testing. Clear. Unit testing means what? That is where the individual units or components of a software systems are tested. Individual component or units are tested there. And next is what? Integration testing. Integration testing means what? Integrated. Okay, all of you know the meaning of the integrate. It is the combined and tested as a group. Okay, units are models are combined and that are tested combinedly there. And next is system testing. System testing is the third level of the software testing where the integrated system is tested. Integrated system is tested with the specific requirement there. And next is the acceptance testing. Acceptance testing where the system is tested for acceptability. Acceptability with the respect to the customer. Yes, any doubts, students? Anything? Yes, any doubts, student? Okay, these are the four levels of software testing we are using there, but mainly in this testing and debugging, you are focusing on the unit testing only. You are not studying about these three. Testing, system, and acceptance. Three level you are not studying in depth. Only you have to know that what you are doing in the integration, what you are doing in the system, and what you are doing in the acceptance testing. Only you are studying in the unit testing in detail with the code you are studying the unit testing. It is the first level of the testing where the individual unit components of a software systems are tested and validated that each unit for performance. Is any doubt, students? Is it clear? Is it audible?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, next we are moving with the unit test means. Unit test means what definition? Now only it's clear it is the individual components and the units are tested and that are designed well there. Okay, how it is, what type of the design it is doing, how the individual components are, it is correcting them. Okay, it is taking a piece of a code, some sample of a code as a input. Okay, it is taking some sample of a code as a input. That code we are using for the unit test testing of a behavior of the code, how the code is there, the behavior of the code it is checking in the unit test, and it is the function of the code it is generating there. Okay, these codes are generated and written by the developer. The developer is writing the code and developer or the tester or the user who is writing the code there. Okay, user who is writing the code customer who is writing the code, the piece of a code that is generated by the user that is undergone into the first stage of the testing, that is the unit test, and the behavior of the sample code is tested. Okay, what is the behavior, what are the models it is used, what input we are given, everything it will check it, and the function it is generating there, that is the unit test. Okay, next we'll move with the some the concepts what we are using in the unit test framework. Okay, in the unit, it is checking that green color it is there, no? That is the testing behavior. Intermediate function we are using, that is the unit test. In the testing behavior, what are the frameworks that is using? Piece of a code we are giving as an input. Okay, that code we are using in the testing behavior. In the testing behavior, it is using the some concepts. How it is testing the behavior of the code. What are the concepts are supported there when it is using in the unit test? That is, it is using the some frameworks it is using the, okay, that is OOC. OP already you know, object oriented concepts it is using there. A Python program you are writing in the object oriented concepts. Okay, object oriented concepts only we are using, with the help of that only we are writing the code for the Python. Okay, here we are using the some concepts there. There it is supported with the unit framework, testing the behavior. There it is using the 4 test cases that is using there. That is the first one is test fixture, second is test case, and third is test suite, fourth is test runner. Okay, these are the 4 unit test framework. It supports for checking the program sample of a piece of a code we are taking as the input there. That code it is the individual components we are checking in the unit test. That there it is using the 4 concepts there. Test fixture, test case, test suite, test runner. Okay, these are the 4 concepts are related with the OP, that is the object oriented concepts that we are using here. Okay, what is first one is what? Test fixture. Text fixture means what? It is a baseline for running the tests. Baseline for running the tests to ensure that there is a fixed environment. You are using some fixed environment in which you are able to run the test and you are able to get the result repeatedly there. Once you want to get the once repeatedly, randomly you want to get the result means you can get it there. Test fixture means what? It is a running test environment, fixed environment we are using there. Okay, if you are executing the Python program means you need the environment for execution of the Python code. For that you may use the Anaconda you may use, or Python 3.0 application you may use for running the code there. Okay, IDE you are using for running the code there, Jupyter. These are all the platforms there you are running your Python codes there. Okay, here you are using the Python code, you are running the text fixed environment you are using for testing the code there. And next is what? Test case. Test case means what? It is using the some set of the conditions. Some set of the conditions we are using for determining whether the system under test works correctly or not. Okay, in that condition, the system will run that program or not. We are checking the conditions in which program will run. Next is test suite. Test suite means what? What type of the software program you are used. It is used for checking the collection of the test cases. Test cases it is using and the behavior of the execution of the program that are aggregated together there. Okay, it is a collection of the test cases we are using in the test suite. Next is test runner. Runner means what? Execution of the tests. Okay, execution of the test and provides the outcome to the user. What the user is expected output, it is matching or not. What the actual output is there, what the expected output are there, both will compare it is matching or not. Okay, these are the four frameworks we are using in the unit test. Is any doubt, students? Any clarification? Is it clear? Any doubt, students? Yes, is it audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, also clear these four concepts. That one, test fixture means what? It will set the environment. Next is the test case. It is a set of conditions we are using. Test suite means for some test cases that is using the test runner means what? That is the execution of tests. Okay, what the output you will get it is matching with the expected output or not. Here. Okay, next we are moving with the some code we are considered here. One example I am considered that it is including all the four concepts: test fixture, test case, test suite, and the test environment there. Okay, next we'll move with the one example, one code I am considered there is unit test code. Okay, in this unit test code, okay, here the first line is what? Import unit test. Okay, code is already it's there with you. Already the developer tester is developed the code. That code we are considering for the testing. You may use the white or black box testing, but the maximum time in the unit test we are preferring for the white box testing only. Okay, white box testing method only is used for the unit testing. There, okay, there you are able to view how it is processing there in the white box testing. For that, here you are using the code that is import unit test. You are importing the unit test package. Here, first you are importing what type of the testing you are required. Unit test is the first step of the software testing that we are using there. You're defining the class that is the test. Here, what class we are defined here? Class test. Who is the class we are considered there? The test. We have to write it there. Unit test for the test case. Test case we are considered there. Okay, that is the input we are given there. And next is what you are defining the test case, that is the test set bar self. Self you are defining the user is self declaration you are defining there. Okay, here defining the test get set statement we are using, the get statement we are using there. Set and get. Okay, concepts you already studied there. Okay, set means what is using for setting the value there, and the get is you are using the input function what you call the. Okay, set and get we are using there for the defining the value here. Self dot bar is equal to 1 we are taken here. K input here taken 1 or 0 it may be there. Here taken the 1, or you may use the boolean value true or false also you may use it there. And there we are using the if main function. If name assigns is equal to the main function of the program, there unit test is used for the main function there. This is the one sample code how you are defining there, and only you are defining there, you are not user conditions in detail. You are defining with the input 1 or 0. Status 1 we are taken there. Self dot bar is equal to 1 is the status we have taken there. The next is the one more example is the same is there, but it is used with the assert value. That is the true or false assert value we are considered there. Previously we have not taken the assert value true or false. Here it is by self it is previously it is set with the self dot bar is equal to 1 we are considered the 1 automatically we are considered the we are not considered true or false the 1 or 0 by default 0 it will be there. And next is the import unit test. One sample class we are taken there, sample test. Okay, that is the case what you are taken here, unit test case we are consider the unit test. And there we are defining the output by using the true or false test method will maybe true or false. We are defining the test, define the test of self we are defining self dot assert true true. Okay, asserting the true output, it got a true output means what? True it will assert. Assert false means what? False it will get it. And the main function it will call there is name. Okay, assigning is equal to the main. Okay, throughout the command line it is using, that is the at the last line it is using the unit test dot main function. This is the program it will run at the end when you are using the unit test. Here is a sample code is there for the unit test by considering one example self main example you consider there by using the true and false. It is the framework how you are testing the code on sample code is there and how you will get the output. Okay, here check it in the program. How many conditions are there? Anyone tell me? How many conditions are there? Any conditions are there?
If condition is there, ma'am.
Okay. Only one condition is there. Yes. False condition is there? No. One condition is there means only one condition will run in the program. Okay. After here, you will get it output in this form. Wait, I will show you. Here is the last block is the check. Here, if name assign the main and the last line is the command line. We are running your program there. That is the command line of the program there. After running the execution of the program, you'll get the output in this form. One dot is there. Okay, below that lines are the dash line is there and then ran one test in 0.00 seconds. Okay. Status is what? Okay. Okay means what? Condition is run. One test case is run. It requires 0.00 seconds time is required for that. Here the dot is there. Observe that dot. Dot means what? Only one condition is run in the program. Okay, here check it. Only one condition is there. One condition is run. Another one more condition false is there means two condition as there means two dot will appear there. Okay, two dots will appear there, two test case will run, and it required how much time is required, it will display there. Okay, here we are using the dot here in the output statement. Clearly, it is written that dot means what? Minus V option also we are using for writing the next command line in detail for getting the results. This is the additional operation we are using it. The status is okay. Okay, the output status is what? Okay. Okay, it is defining at the end there. Ran one test in 0.00 seconds. Clear this? How you will get the output? How many conditions are there? Conditions are 3, 4 means what? That conditions it will display. 4 tests are run. 5 tests are run. Clearly it will give the details. How many test conditions we are using there. All the tests it will execute there. And how much time it is consuming? That time also it is defining in detail. So for this, you have to execute it by using the application. Okay, you know in which platform you have to execute the Python code. I think Anaconda. You may use the application and you may use the Python 3. The open source softwares that are available there. You have to install it and you have to run that program. Okay. It depend upon the different types of the operating system. Different versions are there. Use that. Okay, next is in detail. I'm taken one example. That is there I am consider the more than one or two cases I am considered there. Okay, you have to tell me that one. Okay, all of you are able to view the screen. It's clear. The program is visible. This program is visible. Yes, here. Okay, you are imported unit test. Okay, you are not dealing with the other tests that is integration, system acceptance. You are not using that one. You are studying only the unit in depth. For that here you are using the one package that is the import unit test is the package we are taken. Okay, here the class. What is the class we are defined here? Anyone? Class. Class name is what? Test string methods. Okay, test string methods is the class we are considered there. In that class, for that class, we are using unit test dot test cases. You already have studied the frameworks. How many frameworks are there in that? Unit case frameworks. There are 4. Okay. Test, fixture, test case. Then, does anyone tell me?
Test suit.
Test suit. Then,
Test
Ma'am.
runner.
yes.
Test runner.
Okay, that all the 4 cases it will be used here. That all the frameworks we are using here. Okay, here how many, sorry, here how many tests are there? Anyone tell me? Okay, previously in the exam only one test case is there, that is the if condition. Here how many are there? How many test cases are there in this exam? How many conditions? Is anyone? How many conditions are there in this program? Tell me.
6, ma'am.
6 are there. Okay, yes. Others, to weave that one, 6 are there or how much? Okay, in this 5 are there. Okay, and in this example, how many conditions we are taken here is 5. Okay, it is satisfying the second framework, test case. Test case means what? Conditions. How many conditions are there? 5 are there. Okay, here the 5 test cases, that is the first one is what? Define test string, test upper, test is upper, and next is test strip, test strip. Okay, test strip we are taken 2 times. Okay, next is a self dot assert rise. Okay, 5 we are considered here. Okay, 5 are there. Okay, the first is what? Okay, first you are defining the class name. With the unit test cases we are considered these 5 conditions are they clear? Okay, then next is what? Test suits. Text suit means what how the program is behaving and how it is running there, and it is aggregated with all the executions of the test cases there. Okay, and then next is what? Test execution. Okay, it is executing the test by providing the input there. Okay, here the first is what? Define the setup. You are defining the setup self. Self you are defining, you are passing the setup there. Okay, we'll pass that. The first is what? Define the test strings a self. You are defining the string there. Here the first step is what you are defining. How you are defining there? What are the steps we are using there? Okay. Define test strings. A means what? You are defining the string. What string we are defining there? A. Okay, underscore A is there. Okay, view that. It is defining the string A self. Okay, there the condition what taken is what? Self dot assert equal. Self dot assert equal the string what you have taken, the character is what? A is the character we have taken there, asterisk 4. A asterisk 4 means what? A multiplication, 4 times you are multiplying the A there, then what will get the output? A into 4 means what? 4 times A you will get it as a output there. Okay, that is equal to the condition or not? Equal is there means it will display the true, otherwise it will display the output as a false there. Clear? And next is what? Okay, define, yes, define test upper self. Upper means what? Anyone tell me upper function? Upper, lower function. These are all the functions you have studied, I think. Upper means what?
For capital letter.
For capital letters. Okay. Here you are given the input in the form of lowercase, that we are converting into the uppercase by using the upper there. Here the self dot assert equal foo dot upper. Foo dot upper is the function we are using. That input what we are taken here foo is there, that is with the upper function. Okay, that the output it will get it foo. Okay, that it will matching. It is matching with the function there. For that you will get the assert equal there. Okay, it will returns the true if the string is in the upper case. Otherwise, it will display false as the output there. Okay, and next. Okay, your next condition is you are considering is what define test is upper self. You got the output that is in the upper case or not? Is upper or not? You have to check it there. Okay, that is the self dot assert true. True means what boolean value? Yes, you got the output is in the form of the uppercase only. Next is what self dot assert false. False means you got the output in the lower case or some one is in the lower, others are in the upper case. Okay, lower, upper, randomly both are used in that. Okay, that is in the false condition. Clear? True, true means what? All the string, all the input what you are given that should be in the upper case. False means what? Both it is using both the upper and lower combined together or lower only. Okay, in that form we will get the output there. And next is what? Returns true if the string is stripped. String is stripped means what anyone? String is stripped means anyone tell me what is that stripped? Here we are using the strip function. String is stripped. String means what? Set of characters. Set of character is stripped together. Here we are using here. Okay, here the test is used to check for all the input what we are passed there that are all in the form of characters. String means what? Set of characters. Set of characters we are using that is stripped and matched them. It matches the given output. Here that is the comment line also they define there clearly what it is function is executing there. Define test strip the self. Okay, self is the function. Okay, then yes is equal to what is the string we are given there that is Greeks for Greeks is the string we are given there that is represented in the quotes. The string is there means that are representing in the quotes there. Self dot asserts equal that all the input what they defined is that is in the form of strings. There any numbers are there? No. Numbers are there means it will represent the output is self dot assert false. Okay, self dot asserts equal they are taken means what that is all the input what we are given that is in the form of the character form. Okay, it will match. For that, here use the function that is the assert equal statement that returns the true if the string is stripped and matches the given output there. Okay, next is what? Use the option that is the string splits. Splits means what? You are splitting, breaking the strings, breaking the strings. If you have combined the two words, the words are splitted there. Okay, one word is splitted into two words. Okay, and matches the given output there. There it is consider the statement that is defining the test split. It is defining the yes is equal to that is hello world that is the string format that is represented within the quotes there. Self assert equal yes dot split. Yes dot split is the function that is of type yes. Okay, yes dot split is the function of what are the words, what are the sentence, sorry, what are the words that are used that are represented within the rectangle, sorry, that are represented within the brace, hello and the word that both are splitted together, hello and word that both are represented within the quotes with the self assert arises. Self assert arises means what? Arises means what? Exception is the arise. Arise means exception is arised there and there it will call the type error. If there is an exception is arised in between. Okay, exception it may arise at anywhere. There is no restriction here only it should has to arise there. There is no restriction for that. Anyway it may arise there. Here the exception is arised at the split of the input there. That is the type error. That is yes dot split of 2. Okay, when it is splitting the two words, hello and word, okay, that is yes dot split of two. In bracket 2 is there. Splitting the two words when you are splitted there the exception is as there, that is the type error. Clear this example? Then at the end, you will call the command line, that is the main function unit test dot main is the function you will call there. Clear this? This is the one example we have considered there. Okay, you may consider the other example and you may use the other test cases and you may execute it there. Okay, here how you will get the output? You will get the output. How many conditions are there? 5 are there. 5 dots you will get it there. Okay, we will go for the output. How you will get it? Okay, 5 dots are there or 6 dots are there? 5 conditions are there, you'll get the 5 dots. And then how many test cases are run there? 5. In 0.00 seconds are required there. The status is okay. Okay, that is matching with the expected output. Therefore, that the status is okay. Otherwise, it will show the status is error. It will show that. Clear? Okay, next some sample examples are there. Okay, some other examples are there. You may refer it here. It's there. Okay, output is produced. 5 conditions are there. 5 dots are there. And then that are separated with the dotted lines. Run the 5 tests in 0.00 seconds and the status is okay. If the status is, if there is any errors are there, it will show that the errors are there. It will show the error status. Okay, depend upon how you are running the codes there. Okay, all of you clear, students? Any doubts in that? Okay, in this example, when you are implementing there, all the 4 test frameworks we are used the test fixture, test suite, test cases, and the test executions. That 4 cases we are used there for running the 5 test cases there. Clear? Any doubts, students, in that example? Any doubts, students?
No, ma'am.
No, it's clear. Okay. Okay, what is exception? Anyone tell me? Exception. What is exception? Exception. Okay, exception when it will occur means what? When you are executing a program. Okay, either you may execute the program in Python or C or in any other programming language, the exception will arise. Okay, when you are executing the main program, okay, original main program, the user is writing the program. Okay, when you are writing the program in between, you will enter into the hang. Okay, or any activity it will process. Okay, that activities are whenever you are writing the program. Then after writing the program, a piece of whenever a piece of a code the user is written. Okay, in between that, it will stop the execution of the program and it will disrupt the normal flow of the program and it will execute the what the exception is arise at that. Okay, what the exception is arise, it will check the exception and it will solve the exception. Then again move back to the original program and the original program will run. The exceptions are arising in between the program. Whenever you are executing the program, after writing the program, the exception will occur there. After writing the program, you are moving for the compiling or compiling stage. When you are compiling there, at that time the exception will arise. When the exception will arise, it will halt your original program and it will disrupt the flow of execution of the program and it will execute that exception. It will clear the exception and then only it will move back and execute your program there. Okay, that is the exception. Okay, the next topic is what? Multiple exception handling in Python. Multiple means what? Many exceptions. Single exception it may be or multiple exception. More than one means what? Multiple. One exception, for example, here I am consider the one example that is a key error. Arise when a key is not found in a dictionary. This is one sample example is there. In that form, other different forms of the examples are there. Okay, if any duplications are there, longer code is there means what? That time there the error will arise there. Okay, here the one example, some examples are there and considered here. Okay, here consider the one exception case that is the try and accept. Try, accept is the one case I'm considered the here the one single code you are running a single block of a code are executing. In the try case, you are considered A is equal to 10, B is equal to 0. Okay, C, the result you are storing there. C is equal to A by B. A by B here did means what? Print answer you will get it the answer of a divide by C. Sorry, the answer of a divide by B. Expected output. Print. Except the print it can't divide with 0. Provide different number. Okay, it will show the one exception error errors it will occur there when you are executing this program. A divided B 10 divided by 0 means what? You are not able to divide that number. There you will not get the output for that. For that the expect it will occur there, arise there, that is it can't divide with 0, provide different number. Okay, that is the output you will get it there. Okay, when you are dividing A by B there. And next, one more is there. Try, expect, sorry, try, accept, accept. Okay, two. Only here in the previous example, only one accept is there. The next example, two are there. Okay, two exceptions it will arise when you are executing the programs there. Try. A is equal to data type is what? Int. Data type is int of input of value A. B is integer form of input B. A and B both are the integer form. We are defined there. Then C is equal to A by B. The same. A means what 10, B means what 0. By default, we are considering there. Okay, integer form is there. The answer of a divide by B. Okay, expected value error. Here value is there. No. Print entered value is wrong. Next is expect 0 division error. Print cannot divide by 0. Here it will show the two types of the exceptions. First one is what value error and second one is what 0 division error. Okay, this is a single, previous one is single exception, it is multiple exception. More than one exception it will arise there. Okay, here is the output you will get it in this form. Enter a value of A is 10. Entered value is wrong. Why means what type of the A we are given? A value is what you are given here? Integer form. But you are given the input in the form of string 10. TEN 10. In that form you are given. Then the output what it will display? Entered value is wrong. Okay, it will accept the input in the form of integer form. Okay, then next. Output second. Enter the value of A is what? 10. Enter the value of B is what? 0. What it will display? It can't divide by 0. Okay, then the third output. Enter the value of A is 10. Enter the value of B is 2. Then automatically you will get the answer, that is the answer of A divided by B is 5.0. Clear, these two types of the exception it will occur if they depend upon the data type, depend upon the value what we are given there. Data type if they are specified in the program means that specified output only, input only you have to define. Otherwise it will show the exception will occur there. Okay, clear this? And next with the handle the multiple exceptions with a single except clause. In a single except clause, two exceptions will occur. Okay, in a single except clause, two exceptions are there, that is value error, comma zero division error. Previously, we are splitted the two exceptions we are considered them. To expect, that is value error, and the second one is what? Zero division error. But here in that, in a single exception only, we are considered the two clauses, that is the value error and the zero division error. You may represent it there. Okay, try same value is there, but the exception of the representation is varying that. Okay, two separate lines we are using for representation, but here in a single line only we are representing there. Clear, students? Any doubts? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
In a single exception, two clauses. You may represent three clauses, four clauses, five clauses. You may represent it. Single clause. Okay, instead of extending the maximum line of a program, here say the program is extended, increasing the length of the program. Okay, here you are increasing the length of a program. That increasing the length of the program, you are reducing it by writing the clauses in a single line. Okay, in a single line, you are writing all the clauses and you're giving the input and you're getting the output for that. And next is using try with finally. Okay, using try with finally is the key word we are using there. Okay, what is the finally keyword? Anyone? Finally. Is anyone tell me finally keyword? Okay, finally is the key word. Okay, which is always used to execute after the try and except block. Finally is the key word that is used at the end of the execution of the after the execution of try and except block. It is used for normally termination of a try block or after try block termination due to the some exceptions are occurred there. Okay, you are executing the program at that time there some exception will occur. Some exception is occurred means what? You will stuck there only after the after clearing the exception only you are able to move for the normal program of the execution there. Okay, sometimes you are not able to move back from the exception. At that time, you have to use the keyword that is finally. Finally is the keyword that is used after the except blocks. After the except blocks, we are using that one for the normal termination of the try block. For the normal termination of the try block when there is an exception is caused. Clear? Here is one example we are considered there. A try A is equal to integer data type of the input we are defined. B int data type. C is equal to A by B by defining the value. Okay, the exception will arise there. That is zero division error. That is 10 divided by 0. Same we are considering here. Print can't divide with 0. The exception is arise, but you are not moving back to the normal state. Normal of the execution of the program. For that you are using the keyword finally. print inside a finally block. Printing inside a finally block means then it will abort from that and it will go for the normal execution of the program and it will execute that one. Okay, clear this. Okay, the output is, I'll get the output there. Okay, enter the value of A is 20 you are taken. Enter the value of B is 5 you are taken there. And then if you divide the value means you'll get the 0 normally. Okay, there is a no exception. Here, 10 divided by 0, it is not there for the first input. For the second input, here consider the 20 divided by 0. It will cause the exception. Exception then also, yeah, if you use the finally keyword means it is normally terminating from the exception. They can't divide with 0 inside a finally block. Clear this? Clear what is the use of finally keyword? Is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next we are moving with the try with else clause. Try with else clause with the exception. The same input we are taken here. A try is equal to the data type is int and b is equal to integer form of the input we are consider c is equal to a by b. The print is what? A by b is equal to person d. Integer format is there means integer is there means format specifiers we are using the person d. Person c is person d we are using the except zero division error. Okay, print can't divide by 0 else print we are in else block. Okay, here it is using the else part we are able to use in the exception it is there in the try block then also we are using the else part we are using for that. The one more example here consider here. Here in this try block will test the expected error to occur there and here you can handle the errors. What is the error it is occurred there? Zero division error is occurred there. Else part if there is a no exception then this block will be executed. If there is a exception is there means it won't execute. If there is a no exception means then it will move and execute the else part that is we are in the else block. Sometimes the exception may rise may not rise. A is equal to 20, B is equal to 2 means what? There it won't arise the exceptions there. Then it will execute the program there. If there is an exception A is equal to 10, B is equal to 0 means at that time the exception will arise there. Okay, that is the use of using the try with else clause. There is output in this form. We will get it here. Value of A is equal to 20. Value of B is equal to 4. A by B is equal to 5. Okay, their exception clause is there, but in the try, but it won't cause the exception. It will move directly to the else part. That is, we are in the else block. It is not possible to divide means it can't divide by 0. It will display that. Clear this? These are the two outputs. We got it there. Okay, next is rising an exception. Rising an exception means what? How the exception will rise. Okay, if the customer knowingly or unknowingly, they maybe exception will arise. Unknowingly, knowingly. Two ways are. Unknowingly means what? By default, the exception will arise. Unknowingly, by default. Knowingly means what? Customer raised himself on. Customer himself only in the program there. That is rising of the exception by the user. exception himself only rising, what type of the output you will get it for viewing that one, the user may rise that. Here one example they consider, that is you are defining the simple interest. Okay, simple interest, one example we are consider this, that is amount, year and rate. Simple interest expression everyone know, SI is equal to, what is the simple interest equation formula, anyone tell me? PTR by 100. Okay, here we are consider the simple interest amount, year and rate. We are consider here defining the simple interest. Okay, and here enter into the try block. If rate is greater than 100, condition we are taken. If rate is greater than 100, rise value error rate. Okay, it will rise the exception. User is raising the exception, or the programmer developer is raising the exception, that is the value error rate. Value error 100 is not a specific 100. If you define specifically, by default your defined means what, that is the 100. Okay, if your user is not defined means what, it may be 100, 200, 300, 400. You are defined specifically means what, if it is greater than, rate is greater than 100 means what, there it will rise the error. Okay, otherwise it will not rise the error there. Interest is equal to amount into year into rate divided by 100, that is PTR by 100. Principal principal PTR by 100 you are defining. Print simple interest is interest. It return the interest value. There the exception it will occur there, that is the value error. Okay, rise the user is rise knowingly he rises the errors the, that is the value error. Print interest rate is out of range. Rate, that is the case 1 and case 2 we are considered there. Case 1. In the case 1 you are given the input. Amount you are defined, year you are defined and the rate. Amount is what you are defined here, user is 800, year is 6 and rate is 8. Okay, what is the simple interest we will get it for the case 1? Anyone tell me? We do it. PTR by 100. We get the value. For the case 1. For the case 2. 800 into 6 into 800 divided by 100. You do it. You get the two cases. Two cases are there. Case 1 and case 2. Two examples were considered there. Above the range you are getting or below the range you are getting. Rate is greater than 100. Okay, greater than 100, it is satisfying. Greater than 100 you are getting or below 100 you are getting. Let's check it. 800 into 6 into 8 divided by 100 you do it. What is the output you will get it?
384.
384. The next second case. 800 into 6 into 8 divided by 100. Is anyone got? That is 800 you will get it there. Okay, 800 you will get it. With that both the values is check it. Case 1 and case 2. Case 1 you will get it simple interest is 384 and second you will get it 800. Okay, 800 you will get it. Both if rate, if condition you check it. Rate is greater than 100 both. Rate ka dekho. What is the rate for case 1?
8.
8. What is the rate for case 2?
800.
800. 8 is less than 100 or greater than 100?
Less than.
Less than. Then it returns the interest it will return. Then next second, what it will return? 800. That is greater. What it will display?
Rate.
Interest rate is
Rate
out of
of Range.
Out of range. Okay, these are the two types of the output you will get it there when you are raising the exceptions. In that same form, you may raise the different types of the exceptions. You may raise it and use customarily. You have to raise the exception. You have to solve yourself. Then only you will understand how the exception will occur in the program and how you are able to solve and how you are able to handle that. Handling is also important. Okay, rising, anyone can rise it randomly, but handling and concluding the output is also important. Clear? Students, clear? Any doubts in that example? First case, what is that? Simple interest you have to calculate. And the second is what? Simple interest is what? 800. Clear? Okay, then next we are with the custom and user defined exceptions. Custom. Custom means what? User, yourself. User and user defined exception. Same. Raising an exception means what? Customer is raising the exception and handling the exception. In the same way, the customer is raising. Custom means yourself only. User is writing the program. If user, you are sitting in front of the system means for when you are writing the program, the user is writing the program and you are customizing and you are defining and you are getting the output there. The same form here, same one more example is the customer or user defined exception. You have to define and raise the exceptions explicitly. Define that something goes wrong. Something is going wrong, you have to define it and you have to find the solution for that. Such type of exceptions is called as user defined exceptions or customized exceptions. Clear? Definition is clear? Okay, then I am considered one example is the okay there okay, class error. Class what you are defining here is error. Okay, error is the one class you are defining. There directly or indirectly you are defining and you are building in which class? Exception class. In brace what is there? Exception is there. Class name is what? Error. In bracketly you are writing that directly or indirectly you are moving with the exception class only there. Okay, user is defining inbuilt only class derived from this class there. Base class for the other exceptions. Exceptions base class. Base class derived class all of you know. Okay, base class. In the base class only you are defining the exceptions there. And you are passing that. You are passing that base class for the other class there. That is pass class value to small error. Class what is that? Value to small error class. Error is the derived class, sorry. Error is the base class that we are calling in the error is the base class that we are calling in the derived class that is raised when the input value is small. When the input value is small, at that time the base class will call the derived class there. It will pass. Next class value to large error. Large error. Large is means again this is also a one derived class. Base class it is calling there again. Error is the base class it is calling in the derived class there. Rise when the value is large. Here how many classes we are called? Three classes. One is base, two are derived. Yeah. Base class is error. Derived class is value to small errors and one more is value to large errors. Two are the derived class, one is the base class. Okay, that three classes we are passing into the condition that is the try except block. There we are passing there. Okay, here the while condition we are using while true. While condition is true, try num is equal to what type of the data we are using? Integer data type we are using. Yes. Any errors? Sorry, any issues? Number is equal to data type is int of input, enter any value from the range 10 to 50. 10 to 50 is the range we are considered the amount between that. We may consider the anyone. If number is less than 10, raise the value to small error. Okay, that is calling directly to the derived class that is value to small error and else if number is greater than 50 is going to the error class, that is value to large error, break, expect the error, exception it will occur there, that is value to small error. Okay, value is below the range, try again, and one more exception it will occur there, value to large error, two types of the exception it will occur there, depend upon the number, that it may be less than 10, greater than 50 there. A print value out of range and print with value is correct range. Within the correct range and outside of the range value it is displaying there. Okay, it is the one example we are considering within the range. 10 to 50 is the range. 5 value we are considering means what is the output you will get it? Anyone tell me? 5 is the
Well, too small.
value is below range. Below range. 60 is there means value if I am consider greater than 50, that is 60. So consider
Value
as
out of range.
out of range. Value is there. You are considered 40, for example.
Great value in correct range.
It value in the correct range. You may raise the exception and you may handle it. Custom yourself you have to call that. The output is there for that. Enter a value within the range and now you are managing value is below, out and correct range. Here this example, it is creating custom exception. The next one more is the customizing exceptions. Customizing exception means what? Classes you are defining and what are the arguments that you are defined as per the user requirement. The exceptions, arguments you are using the base exception to the subclass exception. Raise the exceptions in the base class and that we are using the subclasses of the exceptions also we are using that. Okay, one example is the class. What we are defined here, negative age error exception. You are defining, the user is defining there the value, initializing the self and age are the arguments that we are giving there for the program. Arguments you are defining there and the message, age should not be negative. Self dot age is equal to age. Self dot message is equal to message. And the age is in the form of integer form. Age is, if age is less than 0, rise the negative age error. The age is less than means what? Negative, automatically it will rise the error there. Okay, these are the one exceptions, how the way exception will occur by using the augment values. Augment values, arguments you are considered here. Age is the argument. For the self, age are in that argument. Depend upon the requirement, the custom that we are extending from the base class to the subclasses, and in the argument also you are considering the exceptions there. Clear? Clear, there is this one exceptions, single exception. In a exception, you are calling more than one clause and multiple exceptions and how you are handling that. And next is the debugging. Clear this still now what you have studied, that is the testing part, testing, unit testing and exception, and next is debugging. Okay, D plus bugging, debugging. Bug means what? Error. Wherever the error will occur there, you have to correct the error and we have to use that. We have to recorrect it, the error there. Okay, different kinds of errors can occur in a program. Okay, there are three different types are there errors, that is the syntax error, runtime error, semantic error. Syntax error, what is syntax, anyone?
Calling function.
Okay, when you did the mistake, when you are declaring the syntax, you are defining the syntax, at that time the errors will occur there. That is the syntax error there. In the Python, when if there is any errors are occur means what, that is defined with a caret. Caret, under caret is symbol is used for defining the errors there. Okay, you are writing the program name with the .py as an extension you are using there, and there it will show the caret symbol. It will show that where the particular error is occurred there. It will highlight it by using the caret. Okay, it will indicate exactly below where the error is detected there. There it will show the error that is invalid syntax. Invalid syntax there. Here is one example. We have considered that X is equal to one example. Pam, Jim, Michael is the three users we are considered there. Okay, print Michael is age of Michael year old. Okay, Michael age here to represent it there. Okay. Here, what type of the error will occur? Anyone tell me? This program is correct? Or any mistakes are there in the program? Anyone? Anyone tell me? Any mistakes are there in that?
Inverted comma is missing before.
Okay, right. Okay. There is no comma after the gym value 24 you are defined. There is no comma. Comma is not used for separating the values. There the error will arise. Sorry, there the issue will error will arise there. Okay. The next is the output. It will arise exactly below that where the error is there. So that it will define that. And next, same. In the same one more example they are taken here. Okay. I in range. I in the range of 10. Okay, one to range value they are taken here. Care to take the value within the range there. These are the some examples for I. For the line 1, they are taken the below the caret only it will arise the caret will arise if there is the error is there in that particular line there. Three. These are the sample examples are there. Okay, next is dealing with runtime error. Runtime error means what? When an unhandled exception occur at the runtime. Unhandled. Unhandled means you're not able to handle that type of the exception will occur there where the program execution will stop and trace back to the error, and then you have to check the error stage in which line the error is occurred there to move that. Here the file name they are defined with the line at which line the error is there. Main function will move back and it will check the errors there. Okay, it will trace out and will move back index out of the range you are considered. Out of the range is the error it will occur there. Okay. The next is one more example is the trace back. Moving the tracing back to the previous line of the program there. 392 is the line we are considered there in the main, and moving back to the 383 in the main block, and you are checking the line. Depend upon the line number you are tracing here. That example we are considered there. Okay, this is the one example. Trace back of the line with the line numbers. Okay, line number you considered and you're tracing back there. Okay, runtime errors are the errors that are occurred when you are executing the programs there. Okay, the error occurred and what functions were executed there. Okay, infinite functions when you are executing the infinite recursive function where you are executing their runtimes errors will occur there. Okay, runtime errors are produced by the interpreter there. The next is semantic errors. Semantic error means semantic errors are the problems. Problems that will arise when a program that runs without producing the errors. Without producing the errors. semantic errors it will generate there, but does not do the right thing. Okay, does not do the right trick. For example, an expression may not be evaluated. You won't get the output. All the programs you will think that all the programs what I'm written that is the correct and everything is correct, but unexpectedly they are not able to get the right output there. That yield the incorrect result there. Okay, next same example is the unit testing. Already that is done. Same example with the same test cases some considered there. Same is there. There is no difference. But here the examples right directly are written there. 5 cases. Test upper. Test is upper. Split. And the assert rises directly. You are defined with the function name. 5 test cases you are defined. Already that is done. Okay, once again it is repeated. Same thing is there. You view that one for a while. How many test cases are there? How you are defining that? Does anyone tell me how many tests are there in that test cases? In this example, how many test cases are there?
Three.
3 are there, yes. Okay, what are the name them?
Upper is upper split.
Yeah, 3 are there. Okay, that 3 are there. Again, it is represented the output in this form. It's the 3 dots. You will get it. You are running the 3 test cases. The status is okay. If it is satisfied, the status method okay. Otherwise, it will show the errors there. Okay, how it will run the test cases? Okay, test the upper is the test split is the test is upper is there. That all the 3 test cases it will run with the main program. The program name is what we are called here is main. Main is the class in that we are using. Here it's the test is upper, test split, test upper. The main is the program. The last at the end you are written the program. That is the command line. Command line unit test dot main. Unit test dot main is the command line you are written there. That command line we are using here there for the execution of the test cases there. The test string methods are the base class. Test string method is the base class that we are using the main class for the running of all the test cases. Clear this? Unit test. Then last is measure execution time of small Python code. So small Python code. Here consider sample examples there. That how we are executing the small bits of Python code, how you are executing there. That is executing by both a command line interface as well as callable one. Command line interface we are using and callable we are using. Both the type of the interfaces we are using for the measuring the how many times you are executing. It is used to avoid a number of common traps for measuring the execution times. It is used for avoiding a number of common traps for measuring the execution times. How many times The program is executed by using the command line as well as callable one. As well as callable and command line, how you are executing a small bits of Python codes there. Both the codes are there with the examples are there. Okay, I'll explain that one. Next we are moving with the command line interface. Okay, the examples we are considering by using the command line interpreters is used to check the avoiding the number of common traps for measuring the execution times. Okay, here the command line interface can be used to compare three different expressions. Here the three different expressions we are considered, that is dollar Python version that is defined with the minus m is the expression we are used with the time it. Okay, time it. And we are using the function that is dot join string of n for n in range. N is in the range. Okay, that is the loops. How many times of the loops we are calling the here? Time it is the function that we are using for the number of common traps for measuring how many times of we are executed. We are measuring there by using that. Okay, it is this all the three expressions are in the command line interfaces. Command line we are represented there. This command line timing is used for checking that how much time of the execution time. These are the three input different expression we are taken there. That input expression output is there in the next slide. This can be achieved by using the Python interfaces with the expression there. You are importing the time it. Time it is used for checking the measure of the execution time. Measuring how much time is taken for executing the commands there. Okay, time it is measuring the range of the values and it is executing how many thousand numbers, 10,000 numbers are there, that is executing there. How much time is required for that? That is 0.30 for the second expression 0.27 and for the third it is required 0.23. Okay, time is a automatic function that is used for determining the number of the repetitions. How many times it is repeated, repetition numbers that are used in the command line interfaces that it will check here there. Okay, time it is the function that is used for checking the number of repetitions. How many times it is repeated when the command line interfaces is used there. Okay, this can be achieved by the Python interfaces. Okay, next is a Python interfaces is used with the callable can also be for the Python interfaces. Callable is also a command line interface example is done. These two are the examples of the command line interfaces. And next is callable that can be done with the Python interfaces. Here also it is the same function we are used here for checking the value, how many times it is repeated. Okay, time it is the function we are using for determining or checking the returning the object of timer classes and next is the statement we are using for checking the time measure that is used for measuring the statement and next is the setup that is used for checking the statement which will be executed once or many times, how many objects we are using in that, how many variables we are using in the Python statement there. Okay, both the statements that statements that contain multiple statement, it may be a single statement, it may be a by default statement parameter, optional, all the statements are executed by using the statement symbol. By using the statement symbols, all the are executed there. Okay, it is the measuring of time. Okay, measuring of simple program, small Python code by using the snippet codes. Okay, here it is using both the command line interfaces as well as the callable one, and also it is using the Python interfaces, that is the it is using lambda is using the yes, it completes the measure execution time of small Python code snippets. Please, any doubts, students? Students, any doubts?
No, ma'am.
No doubts. It's cleared all the topics. Okay, it completed the 6 or 7 topics. It is completed till now. Testing output, unit testing in Python, handling multiple exceptions, creating custom exceptions, debugging the programs, unit testing, measure execution time of small code snippets. Okay, these are all the topics that is covered in the 6th chapter. Okay, that is done. Hands-on, also it's there. Hands-on, you have to execute these codes by using the Anaconda app is there. Anaconda application is there, or Python 3. Okay, depend on the operating system. You have to download it. Windows, Ubuntu, depend on that. 64, 32-bit, depend on that. You have to install in your system and you have to run this code. You will get the output for that. Okay, you have to use the extension is what .py. .py is the extension. You have to use it for saving your programs and you have to execute it, or easily you may execute the program by using the Jupyter. All of you are aware about that Jupyter icon. Yes. How to execute that you are aware by using the Jupyter.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. There you are able to execute the programs there. Whatever the codes programs you have studied till now are able to run there. Any doubts means you can ask.
Student, if you have any doubt, then ask to madam. Yes, student, any doubt is there?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so
Okay, no doubts means I will conclude the session today. Okay, thank you for giving an opportunity for sharing my views with you. Thank you, students.
yes, thank you, madam. I will pleased to thank you from this class and from CSC department. I thank you to explaining this concept that will be testing and debugging. I think so all the students are understand all the concept very well because they have no any doubts. So thank you so much, madam, for giving us that your valuable time, and you have to explaining this concept very nicely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, I will leave the session now.
Yes, ma'am. You have to leave
Okay.
this.